The spring schedule marches on here at LakePoint Sports, and we are excited today to bring you coverage of the Georgia Major League. I'm Cory McCartney, and it's time for our game of the day between Roswell Pirates and Team Elite. First pitch on this one slated for 10:10 a.m. I'll be joined along the way by Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt, as well as our own Jack McCartney. Now, last week, we had the Battle for Bartow, a high school event, the last one on our schedule for 2026, and it was a doozy with MLB scouts everywhere, Division I prospects, Division I signees all over the fields. Among them was Aiden Ruiz out of Stony Brook in New York, a Vanderbilt signee who has tons of draft buzz going into this summer, a switch-hitting shortstop. This guy can absolutely get it done on the field. He caught up with Jack McCartney for this edition of Dugout Chatter.
I'm here with Aiden Ruiz, the 7th-ranked shortstop in the nation and the #1 player in New York. Aiden, man, thanks for the time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
First off, you played in the U18 World Baseball Classic.
Yes, sir.
I mean, dude, that was such an amazing event. You guys ended up winning gold while you were there. What did it mean to play in that kind of event and, rep the U.S. over there in Japan?
Yeah, I mean, it means the world to me. I think that's a dream a little kid has, wearing those 3 letters across your chest. And whenever you do wear those 3 letters across your chest, it just means more. You go out there more passion, and especially when you're going for gold.
So you led the entire event in 11 hits. What did you do in your time there to really, keep the bats going?
Yeah, I think my mindset and my mentality that whole trip was just winning baseball. I mean, whatever the team needs to win, I think that's when I play best. And I got fortunate to lead the tournament in hits, but I was just trying to make my team win.
You are so good defensively. You can make a play anywhere where the ball's hit at shortstop. You had an amazing double play over there in Japan where the ball hits you, you caught it, and you ended up tagging second for the double play.
Sure.
What were you thinking when the ball got hit to you, and what did it mean to make such an amazing play in such a huge moment?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was pure instincts. I knew there was a man on second and a lefty hitting up, and I knew our pitcher was throwing hard, so I knew there was a chance our ball, he was going to go oppo because he was a little late on him. So I knew there was a chance of coming at me, but once I saw that ball in the air and saw that runner take a little lead off of him, I knew I was going to get that double play.
You have such amazing talks about with MLB scouts. One MLB scout said that you are the best defensive shortstop in the entire class and that you are a future Gold Glove caliber defense. What does it mean to hear those words?
Yeah, I mean, it means the world to me. I mean, it shows that what the work I put in and what me and my dad and all the coaches that we train for. I mean, but also it's always, I'm trying to get better all the time, so seeing how far it gets me.
Well, talking about the MLB level, who did you look up to growing up in the MLB level?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple guys. I mean, Francisco Lindor, Ozzie Smith, Roberto Alomar, all the old-time guys, how to play the game old school. I kind of look at that.
You're also a switch hitter. Do you feel like there's a difference between you at one side of the plate to the other?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel pretty confident, 100% confident on each side of the plate. I mean, I think I'm going to get a hit every time I go on the right side or the left side. But I mean, there's people say that I might be a little stronger righty because my front hand is lefty, and I'm a natural lefty. So I think maybe that, but I think I'm pretty confident in both sides, and I feel pretty good.
Is there one side of the plate that you feel like you are better at, and that the other side you need a little bit more confidence in?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, every time I go up to the plate, I'm 100% confident that I'm going to get a hit every single time. And I mean, if I don't, then the next time, but I feel pretty confident on both sides.
You're committed to Vanderbilt. What was that deciding factor to become a Commodore?
Yeah, I mean, the coaching staff. I mean, Coach Corbin and the history he has and the relationship he built with my family from not just when I was able to commit, but from years prior to that. So it was a great opportunity for me to go there.
This is your senior season. What are you hoping to get out of this last season of high school ball before you look towards Vanderbilt or maybe the draft?
Yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy the time with my guys. I mean, out here, my last spring break trip with my guys, but it's pretty cool just to see the young kids on our team and see what's next coming out of New York.
Aiden, man, thanks for the time.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff there from Jack, and man, Aiden Ruiz can absolutely ball out, swings it from both sides of the plate, smooth at shortstop. The White Sox had the #1 pick in this summer's MLB draft, and word is they had multiple scouts here at LakePoint Sports during the Battle for Bartow. So I'm not saying it's Aiden Ruiz, but a year ago, Eli Willits goes #1, prep shortstop, so always the storyline to watch as we head towards this summer, and maybe Aiden Ruiz gets his name called #1. But I think every indication that kid is going to go early in this summer's draft. We're going to take a break here in studio. We will rejoin you when we are ready for first pitch between the Roswell Pirates and Team Elite from here at LakePoint Sports. Welcome, man. Cory McCartney now joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. Avery, man, good to see you. It's been a little bit. We got you back here in studio. Team Elite, Roswell Pirates. Man, those are some major league looking Roswell Pirates.
I know. They got the R instead of the P, or is that a P? I can't tell.
It's an R. They kind of retrofitted it to be an R. So
it's good. Got to get the new City Connect that the Pirates got going on. We'll get that out here. That'll be sick.
Well, they got Matt Capps is affiliated with this Roswell Pirates team because his son actually Wells plays for these guys, and he's a former Pittsburgh Pirate. So I feel like maybe Matt can pull some strings and get them hooked up with the City Connect version. At the plate for Team Elite, we've got Jake Sams. He's to be followed by Jet Moore and then Julian Ozuna, not of the Big Bear Ozuna family, but Julian Ozuna, third batter in this lineup today for Team Elite. So it's got you in here. I know your mind is here with the Georgia Major Elite, but certainly you're an NBA guy, and the NBA playoffs are getting underway. We'll go. I'm going to go through eventually. We're going to go through your full bracket, but who's gonna be wind up as champion? Who's cutting? They don't cut down the nets.
Yeah,
they should cut down the nets. But who's gonna hoist the Larry O'Brien?
It's hard to pick against the Thunder. Obviously, I think it's probably Boston and Oklahoma City, and I'm going to say Boston just to mix it up a little bit. Don't want any back-to-back champions. That's no fun. Hopefully the home team can make a little run. If we could get hot, maybe make it to the Eastern Conference Finals would be sick. I don't think we've got the firepower to do more than that, but hey, if we do, would be awesome. Playing good basketball the last 2 months. So, big game tonight at 6 against the Knicks, so that's good.
I wish the earlier series were shorter.
Yeah.
I wish they played it. It would feel more like desperation if they played like 3-game series in the first round, but Adam Silver doesn't listen to me anymore. I don't know that he ever did, but he currently doesn't. Nelson Grillo on the mound for Roswell Pirates. Kings Ridge Christian 2030, fourth prep baseball event for him. He's got a fastball around 73, curveball he works 62 to 67.
This baseball season, and really as the high school season concludes, it's flown by what feels like. You look up and we're a month away from high school stuff here at the complex. So.
Yeah, it's last week. Runners taking off for second, and Sams will easily have that bag as Moore swings through for the first out. But yeah, we had our last scheduled high school event here last week with Battle for Bartow, and it was awesome because these fields were full of high school players again. First time since February of the Georgia Dugout Club that we had that. But man, there's so many of those guys that you saw that come through here, and you had the realization that I'm not ever going to see you play in these fields again, which is
it's crazy to think about.
It is crazy because some of these guys, it feels like you just have the expectation of when am I going to see them this summer? What
Yep.
events are they playing, and how often are they going to be here? Especially when we go through that Etowah crew, and that senior class that they have. But just on and on and on. So many of those guys. Luke Nikowski was here playing for the last time for Creekview before he winds up at Georgia Tech, if not hearing his name called early enough in the draft to alter those plans. That one's ripped down the left side, and that one is going to be a base hit. Runner holding the third. Nope, taken off. Sams is going to score. Julian Azuna's got himself an RBI single, and Team Elite's on the board here in the top of the first inning. But yeah, so many of those guys that we got so accustomed to seeing, and now we'll have another round of it. I had, Chubb Jones Jr. in here from McEachern, and a year from now we'll be having that same conversation with him. But it's just it's the nature of what we do. But it is just weird when you kind of have those realizations with those guys.
It's very weird, especially now. It's like, a lot of those guys, that the Etowah guys are junior future gamers and future gamers, and
Yep.
You build a relationship with those guys more than just seeing them play, and it's like, oh, you're a senior now. That's different. And next year at this time, I'll turn on the ESPN app on Tuesday night at 7:30, and you'll be playing. It's
That's right.
It's crazy to think about, but super happy for those guys, and most of them moving on to bigger and better things, whether it's Division I baseball or going the pro route. So excited to see where those guys' careers take off to.
That was Easton Boone with the comebacker, and Grillo unable to get the out at first, but still 2 down, runner at second. Runner gets away, going to take off for third, so now another runner in scoring position. 1-0 is the lead for Team Elite. And those guys are going to have real decisions to make. I mean, so you think about a Matthew Sharman, whether or not he's going to go to Georgia or he's going to I think that's very real first round draft pick material. And there were so many scouts that were here. I was talking to Sean Rooney, the national scouting supervisor for the Kansas City Royals, and not asking him, at least on camera, to name players that he's had his eyes on, but there were a number of guys that he mentioned to me off camera, bless you, that
Thank you.
that it could very much change plans, and these guys are going to have tough decisions. But I was talking to Sharman about it, and I said, you guys are just, obviously it's a nice problem to have, a nice decision to have, but college baseball seems like so much fun right now to think, like, do I really want to go sit on a bus?
Yeah, and travel around from small town to small town that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, and the time frame to go from college to the pros now has just been cut down so much because there's so much development going on at the college game that maybe wasn't there a generation ago.
Yeah.
These guys are ready sooner than they ever were before. I don't know that I would be, and especially with the NIL component of it.
That's the big thing.
I don't know that if I'm a Matthew Sharman that I'm not saying, hey, Athens for a couple of years seems like a pretty good deal.
I have been to Athens. Wasn't a baseball player, but been to Athens, and it's a good time. But that's the big thing now. Obviously, with the NIL stuff, it's like it used to be like, oh, ball in play.
Yeah, that one's down the right side. It's going to be foul territory, and that one does in fact go foul.
But that's the big thing now. It's like, okay, well, like, used to be, well, I can just go experience college, go develop, go be a part of that atmosphere that's college baseball, right?
Yep.
And now it's like, okay, well, I can do all of that and get paid and get an education. And it's like, do I want to, like you said, do I want to go do that for 2 years, or do I want to ride around on a bus from, playing in random stadiums across the country that you've never heard of? So, it's one of those things where it's a fine line.
It sure is. It gets a inning strikeout. Team Elite has struck, though. They lead 1-0 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you. Team Elite and Roswell Pirates in our game of the day from the Georgia Major Elite. We will see Jack Thompson, Hart Clayton, and Jackson Purcell at the plate for Roswell Pirates. Meanwhile, Isaac Powell on the mound for Team Elite. Isaac, 6'2", 185 pounds.
He's pretty good at 14.
Yeah. Pretty big body at 14 years old. Let's see what kind of velo he's got. Didn't have anything on the profile for him. So a number of these Team Elite guys playing in their first or second prep baseball event. So not a lot of intel on these guys, but certainly excited to see what we have in store. And first pitch glances right off the catcher's mitt. And going back to our conversation about the draft, we showed a pregame interview there that Jack had done with Aiden Ruiz, and I know we had the Stony Brook team down here a couple times before, but I thought this version of them was incredible. They were absolutely loaded. I was talking to Shooter Hunt, prep baseball vice president of scouting, this past week about the event, and told him, man, that Julian Martinez, that catcher from Stony Brook, I don't know how there can be. I mean, I've seen some of the top level, guys when we think about Will Brick and some of those real high level high school catchers. I don't know that I've seen much better than Julian Martinez. And the arm behind the plate was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was really good back there, and I think the Stony Brook guys, I think they've been down here a while, and obviously they played 3 games in 2 days. Pitching depth was a little tough for them, but I mean, like you said, from a top to bottom roster, it's probably the best one that we've seen from them here. It's kind of weird, they're from New York, and their head coach actually taught me 8th grade Georgia history and small town Georgia.
That's awesome.
Whatever that math makes sense 15 years ago.
Plops that one down into right center, and Thompson's got himself a leadoff single. Nope, he's taken off as that one's all the way to the wall. Misplayed. Is he going to hold a second? Nope. All the way to third. Is he going to hold there? He's still going. No. Backtracking, man. I thought we had absolute No. Here he goes. Taking off halfway to the bag. Nope. Come back. Wow. We got a little bit of everything in here in this opening AB here from Thompson. Jack Thompson coming through in that one. We see that all the time, Avery. This age group, ball kind of gets away. These fields are a lot deeper than they're used to, and that's just opportunity for a runner to just create havoc on the base pass, which you saw Thompson do.
Absolutely. Ball hit really good approach, driving the ball to right center, and then, one bad angle from the outfield there, and it ends up at the fence, and we almost had complete mayhem on our hands with the ball getting by the catcher, but great start here for Roswell is, leadoff triple, got a guy in scoring position to be able to, push one across and tie this thing up early.
Jack Thompson, Fellowship Christian 2030, is now standing at third base to start off the inning here for the Roswell Pirates, and that gives way to Hart Clayton from Milton, 6th prep baseball event for this lefty. Dances out of the path of that one. Yeah, those Stony Brook guys were completely gassed because not only were they playing multiple games, got a ball on the field from another game, they also were getting here really early because MLB scouts wanted to get a look at these guys. So even that they were playing a 3 o'clock game on the final day here, and they were here by 9 a.m. out there on the fields taking early batting practice. So those guys were just exhausted, and they apparently were staying in Athens.
Yep.
So yeah, it's so much. They travel down here from New York. They're getting bussed around. They had a small, but they didn't drive the bus down there. They flew down here, but they were coming back and forth from Athens. They're playing multiple games, multiple days, coming here early for BP for the scouts, and it's hot down here. It's just it was a lot on those guys. And Julian Martinez told me after the final game, he's like, my legs are just toast.
And that's one of those things too. That's not a. When they finished each game each day, the time that they finished and the time that they had to leave to get here, that is the absolute two worst times to drive from Athens to Cartersville.
Yeah.
And being a person that lives on that side of the state now, that is, I felt for them because that is not a fun experience.
Runners taken off. Cut off by the kid. Nice move there.
Had to take out at second on a play that was cut off by the pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, I know that was a run play, but it almost felt like Purcell's like, Powell's gonna stick his hand out there. I'm gonna end this thing. I'm big enough that I can cut off whatever throw you got coming. Runners at second. Dribbler, almost right in front of the catcher. Bare hands it, throws to first in time. Here comes the run though, and Thompson crosses the plate. Runner will be at third. Well, it's an opportunity that could well pay off for Ruiz because I mean. There were, like I said, they were a sea of MLB scouts there, and that guy was just so impressive. Switch hitting, shortstop, so smooth.
That was good for everybody too. You know, I mean, you saw him against upper echelon arms. You know what I mean? Like
he back-to-back games. He faces Sharman and he faces Harry Chubb Jones Jr. I mean, so it doesn't really get much more difficult at the high school level than facing off against those two guys. But yeah, he more than held his own, and just a special player. 2 down here in the inning. Team Elite has scored to start things off, and Roswell answers as Thompson puts one in play all the way to the wall, winds up at third, and then he scores off the ground out. Now looking at Landon Massey from Walton, 2030.
Check swing there.
Yeah, it flips it over. No, he's going to handle it himself. That'll bring an end to one. We're all tied up at 1-1 when we come back from Georgia Major Elite.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast. All while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
And here, by the way, a little late, but we got our windscreen factory starting lineups. Team Elite led off by Jake Sams, the second baseman, then Jet Moore, the shortstop, Julian Ozuna, the third baseman, Isaac Powell, the pitcher, then Easton Boone, the catcher, Pike Caldwell, the right fielder, Lucas Francis, the left fielder, Jackson Durham, the first baseman, Sailor Johnson, the extra hitter, and Wick Forehand, the center fielder. Roswell Pirates led off by Jax Thompson, then Hart Clayton, Jackson Purcell, Griffin Menser, Landon Massey, Benaiah Boyer, Landon Miller, Wells Caps, Killian Rude, Jack Wheeler, Nelson Grillo, Matty Kalakacha, Owen Fullerton, and on. And I don't know if they have any, I can't fit any more names on there. Roswell Pirates hitting 13 in this one, but excited to bring you our coverage of this, our game of the day from the Georgia Major Elite. We're on to the second inning now through one. We're all tied up at 1-1. All right, well, we got a second during Grillo's warm-ups here for the second. You're our resident NBA expert, so we're going to go through the Avery Hunt NBA playoff bracket. So we're going to start off Western Conference. First-round matchups, Thunder, Suns.
Thunder there. Thunder in 5.
All right, Lakers, Rockets.
Rockets in 6.
All right, Nuggets, Timberwolves.
The Nuggets in 7.
All right, Spurs, Trailblazers. Spurs. All right, so then we would have Thunder, Rockets.
The Thunder.
And then you had Nuggets and Spurs.
And then I'm gonna go the Nuggets.
The Nuggets?
Yeah, and then the Thunder to make it from the Western Conference.
All right, Thunder from the West. All right, out east, you got the Pistons and the Magic.
Pistons, and then Cavs. Then let's go Hawks and Celtics.
Okay.
And we'll go Celtics over the Hawks, Pistons over the Cavs, Celtics over the Pistons, Celtics over the Thunder.
Wow. So do you think Cade Cunningham's trajectory is going to be cut off by the Celtics?
I just think the Celtics have been there, and they've got two superstars now that have played in every situation, and I think
Doesn't it always happen in the NBA? It's like a young guy has to get there and fail before he can get there and succeed.
Yeah, and I think the Celtics have enough size to deal with Duran in the middle.
It doesn't seem like other sports are like that. Like,
No.
teams will just go on a run, and you'll be like, those guys literally came out of nowhere. But the NBA, it's like you're climbing a mountain.
Yep.
You're only allowed to get so far on the mountain at certain time periods. Jack, I feel like you were going to chime in there.
Well, I mean, hold on. Let me look at the playoffs real quick, because I don't really believe some of the stuff he's saying. Right now.
Okay. All right. Well, meanwhile, we've got Pike Caldwell at the plate for Team Elite. Pike out of Athens, 2030. Grillo pumps that in for a strike. Count is 3-1.
I think the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets. That's my hot take of this playoff, because of the fact that, I mean,
You think it's Edward? It's Ant time.
I think it's Ant time. I think he's due for a little playoff run right now.
Yeah, it's the big thing with him is if he's healthy.
Yeah.
It's never good when you're listed as injury management for Game 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
but
the NBA. I don't think the NBA would want anything more than to have Shai against Ant,
Yeah.
and to have two of the biggest superstars in the West going head to head.
Hey, and the NBA, they'll find a way with that whistle to make that happen, I'm sure.
Runner taking off for second. The throw is going to be late. Gets away from. Oh, did he come off the bag?
Yep.
Sure did. Runner comes off the bag. Was there plenty of time. So Caldwell caught at second. That gives now one out at the plate for Lucas Francis.
Yeah, if you're going to be around me in the next week with the Hawks-Knicks series, you're going to hear a lot about the whistle. But obviously, they played 2 weeks ago, but not quite the same.
This is one of the we just had March Madness, but at least for me personally, this is one of the sweet spots of sports, because you got the full Major League Baseball schedule going on. We got the NFL draft next weekend, along with the NBA playoffs. And,
NHL playoffs starting this week too.
WrestleMania.
well, that's today and tomorrow, so that's not next weekend.
That's one that was not on the radar.
Well,
hand up.
I ask you tomorrow to tune in to ESPN at 6:00, and they're going to go live with the first hour of things. And I know you know who Brock Lesnar is. Runner's taking off for second. He's facing like the new Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
This guy named Obafemi.
Okay.
And you got to watch this. It'll take like 15 minutes of your day to watch this.
This is tomorrow?
Tomorrow night at 6:00.
Tomorrow night at 6
You will be
o'clock.
like, okay, I'm on board. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Obafemi is 6'6", 310
He was an
pounds.
Alabama shot putter.
Okay.
So Crimson Tide shot putter, and they have strapped a rocket to this guy. And he's got Brock tomorrow night. So, but we're going to be locked in on my house tonight and tomorrow night, the entirety. We're going to watch about 8 hours of this stuff across the next 2 days. But I'm asking, Zane, 15 minutes will be worth your time just to take this in, because a lot of people are going to be talking about this one. That's in for a strike.
Is that an ad read?
It was, yeah.
Is that an ad read from
There you
ESPN?
go. It was, yeah.
On the LakePoint
That's
broadcast?
right, yeah. Tune in with the ESPN app. You may already have access via your television provider. 2-1 count. Durham at the plate. Jackson Durham, 2030. Check swing. Count is 3-1. We didn't get you live after the release of the Brave City Connect uniforms. What do you think of the new look?
They're awesome. I think we've talked a little bit about it with the red circle around.
Yeah.
I don't hate it as much as I thought I would. But, I mean, I think they're the best City Connects in the game right now, and probably biased, but that's okay. I mean, the baby blue, powder blue goes with everything. Like, everybody's doing it now.
They really are. I was talking to Chubb Jones about that because they have the McEachern has the version of it, that's light, and they've got their Cleveland Indians, old school Cleveland Indians logo that they're using with it. But we've already seen, 643s wearing that light blue. I think that's going to be the color that's going to be like our defining color this summer. Last year, it felt like we had a lot of pinks.
Yep.
I feel like baby blue is what we're going to see everywhere this spring and summer.
Kind of started in college football, right? Ole Miss wearing the powder blue. I think UCF pulled a powder blue out from somewhere. It's like, dude, you're not. You're black and gold.
That's not.
That's not even your color. If we get Georgia in a powder blue, that'll be cool. Let's go Ohio State in one.
Well, the Braves are the only MLB team that can legitimately. I guess the Brewers could do it.
Yeah.
Right, and they've got that one Brew Crew they used to have for their old City Connect that was kind of that somewhat of that hue. But the Braves are the only ones that legitimately say we have rights to it because they wore it for decades. Dribbler, shortstop has it, can't get the glove on it. Run scores. Nope, going to make it a second run. Team Elite's up 3-1. Tough play there at shortstop for Purcell. Couldn't glove it. 2-run score. I have Johnson at first with Wick forehand now at the plate. Name of the day here on Game of the Day, Wick forehand. I love that.
That's a good one.
I want him to play tennis.
Yeah.
Or pickleball or ping pong. The sequel to Marty Supreme starring Wick forehand. That one is stopped off at short. Did you see Marty Supreme?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to watch that one. It ignited a ping pong frenzy in my household.
Played ping pong for about
Yeah, it was like nonstop.
a month and a half.
Yep. What was that?
That's going to be a balk there.
Yeah. So at some point you let go of the ball.
Yeah. At some point you do have to release it.
Could you imagine that if we started deking guys at the plate? He's getting ready.
Pump faking?
Faking, yeah.
It's like a slow pitch softball where
That's
it's like,
right.
oh.
Well, you got to get separation somehow, so you run a pump fake. Miss High is going to make it 2-0. Wick forehand at the plate is from Watkinsville, 2030.
Is he in Oconee County or North Oconee? From Watkinsville would be the question.
Yeah. Don't believe he had some of these. So with Team Elite, some of them we didn't have profiles on them. And Wick's one of the ones that we didn't have a profile for. He's going to get away, play at the plate. Can he make it? Not there in time. Another run crosses for Team Elite, makes it 4-1. Team Elite lost to 706 baseball, 14U Ambrose right before this 6-3 loss. Meanwhile, Roswell Pirates played 6-4-3 DP Panthers. They lost 12-4, so both these teams looking to bounce back here in the second day, a game of the day for them here in pool play. So far, so good for Team Elite, leading 4-1 here in the second. It's going to run the count full. You're always glancing at your phone because I know all these people are hitting you up.
Yeah.
Do you have to take Peptid AC or anything like that, like the anxieties or the stomach turning during these tournament days?
Obviously this is year 8 for me doing this. I'm pretty used to it. My wife 2 years ago, right after we got engaged, she was like, "All right, Avery, I get your job. Obviously, I worked at LakePoint, worked for prep baseball there. I get it, but after 6 o'clock, we got to cut it off. It's just you've got to find a way to cut it off." And I was like, "Yeah, that's probably a pretty fair point." So Monday to Friday, or Monday to Thursday, really, with Friday night games, 6 o'clock, I'm like, "All right, phones on Do Not Disturb. Whatever happens Monday through Thursday, we'll deal with at 9 a.m. the next morning." So that's something I've kind of had to take a second look at. But, I think on tournament days, I'm just used to it. My phone's going to ring and text and everything else off the hook, which is, a big thing that we're focusing on, obviously, just communication.
Sure.
The customer experience. So we're not perfect, but, we're going to try our best to be. So.
Well, I was going to say we could try to get you like a Rolaids. There's the Rolaids Relief Arm MLB award. Maybe we could get like Rolaids to come through and get you something.
Somebody was asked me, like, do you have like a second phone? I'm like, no. I've had the same number since I was 12. Like, it's not going to do me any good to get a second phone and give these people another contact. It just wouldn't accomplish anything. So, but yeah, it's an acquired taste. I'd put it that way.
Jake Sams pops that up. It's on its way into center field. That'll be caught for out number 2. Runner will hold at second. So Wick Forehand remains at second. 2 down. 4-1 is the lead for Team Elite.
I will say youth events with good weather are a lot less hectic on my phone than high school events with bad weather. I will definitely say that. But yeah, it's always something going on.
I always think like the person with 2 phones, I'm always like, that just seems like too much work.
I have trouble enough keeping up with the one I've got. That I don't need a second one to
keep 2 charged. And
I'm a gym. I wear athletic shorts all the time. I don't have a third pocket for another phone.
Well, then you'd have to get like something on your belt.
Yeah,
like you'd have to have some kind of like accompaniment.
Yeah, a fanny pack of some sort. And that's not a good look. So
they should do like the crossbody that has like a phone holster on it.
Yeah.
So you have like the phone, and I'm sure someone would tell me like there's some issue with having the phone that close to your heart. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, my wife would freak out about that. But there's got to be something that somebody can make for the athletically minded person who has multiple phones. And it would be like how like Chewbacca has like the belt on that has like the bullets on it. It would be like that, but you would have like phones on it.
Just go the old guy look of the phone clip on the hip.
Yeah.
Just roll with that.
There's a 2-out walk. So Jep Moore's going to make his way to second. I think his way to first, excuse me. I'm sure he's going to make his way to second with a runner at third base here momentarily. But we go from Jep Moore to Julian Ozuna. Ozuna, again, out of Athens, 2030, 7th prep baseball event for him. We're not here to have a talk with Nelson Grillo.
Wonder if Nelson has any relationship to Vincent Grillo that works for us. Wonder if there's any connection there.
You'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I'll have to get Vinny a guest appearance.
He won't come on here. I've asked him before.
It's probably
he clams up. He says he'll do it, and then I ask him, and
he's
like, all right, let's roll.
No.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. He'll probably text me now, like, oh, I'll come on right now.
Well, every weekend we always say is big here at LakePoint Sports, but next weekend is just going to be absolute craziness. We got the Prep Baseball Cup going on here, so there'll be a Prep Baseball Open next week. Prep Baseball Open next week here. But Nike EYBL basketball going on Friday through Sunday over at the Champion Center. Yeah. And basically the equivalent of what we just have for Battle for Bartow from the basketball sense. There will be NBA. So it's not a live period, so you won't see a bunch of NCAA coaches running around. There will be NBA scouts all over the place looking at the guys in 2 years that they're going to be locked in as potential draft picks, and it's going to be a lot of fun. That one's on its way into right field. Half an inning over here in the second. It's 4-1 lead for Team Elite when we come back. Plenty more from the Georgia Major Elite.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you. 4-1 lead for Team Elite as we move on to the bottom of the second inning. Powell remains on the mound for Team Elite. Had a long layoff after throwing 16 pitches in the first inning. We've got Benaiah Boyer at the plate right now. Ben Boyer for Roswell. We're just going to shorten his name to Ben because I know that way I don't butcher Ben. So Ben Boyer. That's in for a strike. Boyer to be followed by Landry Miller and then Wells Caps.
I think if you saw me step off at the end of the last inning, I think we might be the furthest ahead we have ever been at LakePoint Sports on one field. We're an hour and 16 minutes ahead on field 13 right now.
So do you move the other games up?
We're going to try. I think we've got some umpire logistics we've got to figure out. So, well, it's one of those things where you're almost too far ahead, if that makes any sense.
You'd rather be that's a different kind of anxiety, though, right?
Yeah, I'd rather just be 30 minutes. 30 minutes ahead's the best time. But if you've been here and know how these things work, that never happens. So 13 will probably be the last field to finish tonight somehow. But it's just how the cards stack up sometimes.
Landry Miller now at the plate. High miss there from Powell. Landry playing in his fourth prep baseball event at 2030. Wells Caps in the on-deck circle. Runner at first. Roswell trying to answer 3 runs scored by Team Elite in the top part of the inning. Powell throws over to first.
We got a volleyball event going on at indoor this weekend.
We got basketball. Rise Hoops over there. Yep, Rise Hoops going on over there Saturday and Sunday.
I saw a volleyball person in front of me, and I was like, oh, it's probably a volleyball event.
There's beach volleyball. So we got beach volleyball. We got soccer. We got here Georgia Major Elite and Rise Hoops. Swings through that elevated fastball. Counts now 2-1. But that going back to that Nike EYBL next weekend, that's going to be pretty incredible. I mean, we've seen some big-time players come through that one. So that place will be rocking Friday through Sunday next weekend. I might have to go over and check that out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to maneuver my way over there next week.
Two on count here to Miller. Dribbler, Powell's got it, throws to second for 1 out. Did they get the double play? The throw to first is in time. So they go 1-6-3 to get themselves the double play. Nice job defensively there from Team Elite. That's going to bring up Wells Caps, King Ridge 2030. Wells playing in his 6th prep baseball event, the son of Matt Caps, former all-star reliever. Spent time with the Pirates, Nationals, Twins, and it is career. This is how I met him at Braves camp in 2015. Was trying to get on with the Braves after signing a minor league deal. Product at Alexander High School, 7th round pick in 2012. Wells has already got a fastball up to 75 at 2030.
It's crazy. 2030 seems so long ago, but or so far in the future. But realistically, it is 4 years away.
That's right. Would love to know if Matt knows what he was throwing when he was the same age as well. See how far ahead he was. But Matt could definitely sling it back in the day.
Yes.
He was really good on coming out of that Nationals pen. You go back to 2015 Braves. I mean, I definitely thought he was a guy that was going to leave camp with a relief spot on that team. But you see him quite a bit here at LakePoint Sports nowadays.
Yeah, the 2015 Braves and the 2026 Braves, not quite in the same ballpark.
No, they're not.
Roster construction.
Dribbler, third base has it, throws a very quick defensive inning for Team Elite, but they lead 4-1. Avery Hunt, I know you got a run, man. Appreciate it as always. We're coming back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
We are back. Cory and McCartney now off camera. Got Jack McCartney back in the production room. Appreciate Avery Hunt stopping by as always. 4-1 is the lead for Team Elite as we move on to the third inning. Isaac Powell is at the plate to start things off here for Team Elite, as be followed by Easton Boone and Pike Caldwell. Powell's 0 for 1. Grillo's thrown 48 pitches. He's walked 5. Stopped behind the plate from Caps. Powell again, 6'2", 185-pound right-hander out of Auburn, Georgia. Grillo misses. Glove side, runs it to 2-0. Another miss makes it 3-0. Jack, I know you said you've been going back there through the MLB Prep Baseball Draft Board, just looking at the guys that they've got lined up, and certainly, I mean, there are going to be so many names that we're going to hear this summer of players that we've had come through here at LakePoint Sports, and I feel like it's going to be, last year we had, I mean, close to 50, but it feels like this year, just the names that are being tossed around, knowing who's coming through the college ranks, and so many of these high school players that are going to be on the wish list for MLB teams, it just feels like this year just going to be so much more elevated.
I mean, I'm going through the draft board right now. I'm on number 28, and I've gone and highlighted 14 guys that have played here. So, I mean,
and it's gonna be, and that's just the first round.
Well, yeah. So, Prep Baseball has their top 20.
Okay.
Or top 200. That's what I meant. So, out of the 200 draft prospects, I mean, at this point, if I've highlighted a half, and the only, there's a lot of picks in the MLB draft.
Yep, 7 rounds.
There's more than 200 picks. So at this
7
point,
rounds of the NFL draft. I'm sorry.
How many picks are in the MLB draft? Do you know?
Well, it's 20 rounds, so you have over 600 players because it includes like the standard rounds, the compensatory pick, competitive balance rounds. Last year there were 615 players selected.
Okay, so at this point right now, I will do, if this keeps up, I'll do 300. I mean, I'm at half right now, and it's not really looking that fun right now. I mean, it just shows how much great talent we have throughout here, and I mean
We had a courtesy runner, Bryce Carithers, take over for Powell at first, and he stole second. So another runner in scoring position for Team Elite. We had a pop out from Easton Boone, the catcher. So Pike Caldwell now steps in, runner at second. 1-1 count. Carithers getting a bigger and bigger lead. No one in his back pocket. Not giving a ton of attention to the base runner, so you can understand Carithers really getting a gigantic lead. Here comes second, shadowing him a little bit, bounces back. He has it, throws to first. Runner does advance to third, though, so Carithers now standing at third after that ground out from Caldwell. That'll bring up Lucas Francis with 1 on and 2 down. Francis out of Watkinsville, 2030. One gets away. Runner going to take off from 30. In fact, does make it 5-1 lead here for Team Elite as Carithers scores off that wild pitch. Job just got a little bit easier now for Lucas Francis after another run scores for Team Elite. They're up 4. Ooh, gets out of the way of that. Next pitch will be number 60 here for Grillo. So taxing effort for him so far, averaging 20 pitches per inning. It's now 3-0. Grillo gets that down for strike 1. Well, I had mentioned Deshaun Rooney, the Royals national scouting supervisor, when he was here in studio with me. If you're telling me guys in this upcoming MLB draft, as I said, walk there to Francis, and that's going to bring up Jackson Durham. If you were to tell me, if you had to circle a guy that we've had come through here at LakePoint, and this is a guy that in 10 years we're going to be talking about being a mainstay at the major league level. And we've seen some absolutely exciting electric players. I just don't know if there's somebody that I've looked at, and you think about the skill set and the frame and the makeup, to understand why Coleman Borthwick is not going to be that guy. He just has, to me, everything, especially a guy that's as big as he is at 6'5", over 220 pounds, and ability to do what he can do at the plate and on the mound. now triple digits on the mound. I just feel like that's a guy that we're going to be like, man, he just is. That's a lock-in rotation piece for at the MLB level.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he is just an insane human being. I mean, not in a bad way. He's just a freak athlete. I mean, with that build, he can still run. I've seen him like out a triple here before. I mean, he has the arm.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the 12th high school arm that's touched 99 plus this year. With, I mean,
it's insane. Another walk issue. That's number 7 from Grillo.
11 out of the 12 guys have played here at LakePoint before.
Wow. Well, so let's go through the metrics real quick here on Borthwick. You're talking about a guy who, I'm sorry, I undersold him. 6'6", 254 pounds. So to kind of put that size into perspective, I mean, that's like the same size as like Elijah Arroyo that plays for the Seattle Seahawks at tight end. I mean, that's the kind of like body that you're talking about for a high school pitcher. It's just unbelievable. And he has that kind of size, and he runs just a little over 7 seconds 60. Top speed of nearly 20 miles an hour at 19.8. Infield velo of 92. So you're talking about all that. Exit velos of 107, and he hits triple digits on the mound. So it's just, I just don't understand. Like, if I'm an MLB team and I've got a high-level first-round pick, I mean, that's just a guy to me that's just like, and I get like a lot of these players that you get really excited about, thinking like you might have lightning in a bottle in terms of a skill that somebody brings to the table. But if you're talking about like the buildup of a workhorse MLB pitcher, I just think that is absolutely a guy that you go with. Number 1 right-handed pitcher in the nation, number 3 player in talent-rich Florida. Man, give me, if I'm an MLB executive, give me Coleman Borthwick in the first round of the draft. We have a pitching change now for Roswell Pirates, and they're going to move from Grillo to Hart Clayton, so the day is over for Grillo. He went 2 2/3, gave up 1 hit, 5 runs. They were all earned, walked 8, struck out 2. So you do the math there, most of the traffic that Team Elite did have, courtesy of those walks. So trying to find a little bit of a stabilizer here for Team Elite as they now move to Hart Clayton. Clayton out of Milton, 6 prep baseball event for him. Didn't have any pitching metrics on this lefty, but you're seeing right around 67. Right around what, Jack? 6-7 on the readout there. As he takes over with 2 outs in the 3rd, runner at 2nd. It's Lucas Francis standing at second base. Got Durham at first. And this will be Sailor Johnson now coming to the plate. Sailor's 0 for 1. Stick around after the game. We'll run through our player of the game and see if we can also supply you with an Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters. Of course, you can always catch our interview with the player of the game, available on all of our social media platforms. So if you're not already following us, you can do so. We are at LakePoint Sports, and that is at LakePoint Sports on every social media platform you can even think of. Johnson pops that up. First base has it, brings an end to the inning. 2 stranded by Team Elite. They lead 5-1, though, when we come back for the bottom of the 3rd from the Georgia Major Elite.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney. Jack McCartney with you. We have a new pitcher for Team Elite as Jackson Durham takes over for Isaac Powell. And Killian Rude, Jack Wheeler, and Nelson Grillo are due at the plate here for Roswell Pirates. Jack, we always circle one name. It feels like a potential action hero. I don't know that Killian Rude. It doesn't get much better than that. And he spells it R-H-U-D-E, so it would be like, we hate to be rude. You know, that could be it. Dribbler, shortstop has it. Grounds out, so hate to be rude. But Killian is grounded out to start off here the third inning, and he's now to be followed by Jack Wheeler. Wheeler out of Walton, 2030, fourth prep baseball event for him. Not had a defining moment here yet. Our 3-run second inning for Team Elite. 2 of those runs came off of an error. So we've just had 2 combined hits between the 2 teams, 1 for each. Do the math there. Jack Wheeler out of Walton. Not made it through the order yet for Roswell Pirates as they are batting 13. So we've got 3 more guys to go before we get back to leadoff hitter Jack Thomas. That one is skied, got him on the run. Can't make the play near the fence and near our new studio that's actually under construction right now. So we hope to be in that by mid-May. I know we're all very excited here on the LakePoint Sports Media team about that new studio and what it's going to allow us to do. Bring you some brand new look content, from a content standpoint in terms of what we're going to be able to do in there. Going to have some couches and a lounge, and just kind of just give you a different feel for both our broadcasts and for some of the player-driven content that we provide you with. And of course, it'll be really nice to be right next to Field 10 that we primarily do all of our broadcasts on. So Jack Wheeler walks. Walton 2030 makes his way down to first, and that'll bring up Nelson Grillo. Grillo started off on the mound for the Roswell Pirates. Grillo fouls that back. Matty Klajeka is in the on-deck circle. Then Owen Fullerton. And we will be through the Roswell lineup. See if we get that far. 1 down here with Grillo up. Durham misses high. Makes count 1-1. The 1-2 is driven high and into foul territory by Grillo. Avery mentioned it when we were getting in here, Jack, that we are inching closer to the end of the high school baseball season, and We've certainly seen some surprises here in the state of Georgia. From what you've seen, you've been not only the games here that we've had at LakePoint. Grillo puts that one down the left side, and that one's also going foul. Is there a team that you've seen that maybe was not an early season favorite to win a state championship, but you think those guys might have it?
North of Coney. That's going to be my pick. They're just one of those teams where, I mean, they have so many guys. We've seen them here play.
Including UCF commit Ryan Trout.
They also have a Cincinnati commit at their catcher. And they're just one of those teams that, in the beginning of the season, we had our eyes on, Etowah, Walton, Blessed Trinity,
Buford.
Buford, those guys. But North Dakota's been really good this year. It's been cool to watch, and I mean, it's just one of those things where, anyone can win when the playoffs hit. I mean, you can't lose 2 out of 3 games or back-to-back games, and your season's done. So, I mean, there's a lot that can happen this year in the playoffs.
North Oconee now number 3 in prep baseball, Georgia's Power 25. It's North Paulding, Pope. North Oconee, Loganville, Walton, Buford, Etowah, Blessed Trinity, Troup County, and Pickens making up the top 10. Certainly a lot of the teams that are making up that top 25 are the teams that we kind of anticipated that would do so, but I think the order of them has been I don't know that during Georgia Dugout Club weekend, if you had told people that North Paulding would be nationally ranked and be the number 1 team in Georgia, I don't think most people would have believed that with some of the programs that we've got here in the state, like a Walton, like a Buford, like an Etowah, Blessed Trinity. I mean, I just don't know that would have been what was anticipated, but North Paulding has solidified themselves at both a state and a national level. Team Elite's got a 5-1 lead. They're going to be back at the plate. We got a lot more to talk about when we come back. You were watching Georgia Major Elite from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix. We're shopping.
Welcome back. Just in time just to give you the first pitch of that one here. Wick forehand back at the plate. Hart Clayton on the mound. 5-1 lead for Team Elite here as we sit in the top of the 4th inning. Time certainly not a factor right now. We've got about 45 minutes still remaining on the clock through our 1 hour, 45-minute time limit. We're in the top of the 4th. Gets away from the catcher caps. Forehand, last batter in the order for Team Elite. So after this, it's Jake Sams. Just one hit apiece for each team. So really kind of waiting for somebody to have that offensive eruption. Team Elite does lead 5-1, but they took advantage, at least to this point, of 8 walks issued by Roswell pitching. Make that 9 walks as the leadoff walk is issued to Wick Forehand, and it does give us leadoff hitter Jake Sams coming to the plate for the 3rd time. And that's kind of one of the things you get yourself into, Jack, is when if you're Team Elite and you're batting 10, here we are in the 4th inning and guys are hitting for the 3rd time. Meanwhile, Roswell has yet to get through their lineup once as they batting 13 in this one. So, back when I was coaching, we would do those longer lineups through pool play, and then when you got to bracket play, you kind of narrow it down a little bit and focus on your top 9, top 10 hitters. But you can certainly stop guys from getting into a rhythm when you're batting that many during pool play. 5-1 lead for Team Elite. We just had a balk issued. Second balk issued by Roswell pitching. So they've allowed 9 walks, 2 balks. Certainly helping Team Elite's efforts here along the base pass. Got a 0-1 count here to Jake Sams. Jet Moore in the on-deck circle. That miss makes it 1-1. And Jack, you were talking about some of the great matchups that we're going to have here in the Georgia State playoffs. And, man, I don't know. I mean, we haven't gone through all the brackets yet, but I don't know that you can get much more exciting than that Harrison-Etowah matchup in the first round when you think about the pitchers that we're going to see in that one. Obviously, Colin White, the Florida signee for Harrison. Got Jack Johnson, Troy Commit, and then the big gun in that one, Matthew Sharman, the Georgia signee for Etowah. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch those guys do bad. I wouldn't be surprised to see that go to 3 games. I know Etowah's got a lot of firepower, but Sams drives that. It's going to drop in front of the right fielder. Runner taken off from third. The throw is going to be late, so Sams has got himself an RBI single, and Team Elite leads 6-1 here in the 4th. Nice piece of hitting there from Jake Sams. Just drops it right in front of the right fielder, Rude. Gets himself an RBI single, and the 2nd hit of this game for Team Elite.
Yeah, I mean, the base runner did a great job of going from second to home.
Yeah, not even hesitating, right?
Yeah, I didn't hesitate at all. And then the throw is just away. So, I mean, that was great heads-up base running. And, I mean, perfectly placed that. They had to run up to it. And, I mean, these kids are a little younger, so the bases are kind of – it's a big field for a lot of these kids. And, I mean, sometimes they just can't make that throw because of the fact that their bodies are still trying to grow to the size of, some of these MLB draft prospects that we've had the last couple of weeks.
No one's driven foul. So Team Elite takes advantage of that hit from Jake Sams. Jet Moore now at the plate. He's 0 for 1. 6-1 lead now for Team Elite. They scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, now 1 here in the 4th. But they are threatening yet again. Sams takes off. Cap's throw is in time. Did they get him? Man, that shows you the arm strength of Cap's there, because he had to go back towards the back right corner of the right-handed batter's box to stop that ball, and still nearly got Sams at second. So another runner now in scoring position for Team Elite.
Well, I mean, you talked about that Harrison-Etowah matchup. There's a whole – I mean, the bracket's not set yet, but they have some of the matchups already set. I mean, we're gonna see Grayson versus Parkview, which is actually gonna be a really good game. Parkview, they haven't
clicked.
They haven't clicked this year.
Sams takes off, gets a great jump. Man, the base running lessons here just keep coming from Team Elite. It's been a clinic for them so far. They've taken advantage of every opportunity they've had. And what an awesome jump there from Sams to get himself to third. So now runners are at the corners for Julian Ozuna. That's in for a strike. Sams at third, Moore at first. Ozuna's 1 for 2. Runner takes off. And we just had another balk. So the third balk called on Roswell Pirates here. Got him for kind of twisting. So it's now 7-1 as Sams crosses the plate off the balk. Moore advances to second. Counts now 0-1 here to Ozuna. Dribbler goes back to the wall. Makes it 0-2. Can certainly be tough for a young pitcher once the balks kind of start coming. They can come in bunches because it can be tough for guys. I think they get in their own heads after a little while and kind of start to wonder every little thing you do, is it going to get called for a balk? Again, 3 of them issued so far here to Roswell Pirates pitching. Let's help the cause for Team Elite. They lead 7-1. Ozuna goes chasing there. Couldn't lay off the outside pitch, so Clayton gets his first strikeout. Now 1 down in the inning. Bring up Isaac Powell. Powell was the starting pitcher for Team Elite. He went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned walk, 2, no strikeouts. We're taking off another great jump by Team Elite. Now he is going to be in safe in plenty of time. So Moore easily swipes that bag. They are getting some really great jumps against Clayton. We saw Sams do it. Now we've seen Moore do it. Count now 1-1 here to Powell. 1 down here in the 4th inning. 7-1 lead for Team Elite. Another miss makes it 2-1. Now 3-1 here to Powell. So what is the bet? What's the absolute best matchup that's laid out thus far, Jack, in the state of Georgia in these playoffs? Walk issue to Powell.
I mean, I'm gonna go through each like class, because it's very difficult, because each matchups or each class so far is a really good matchup. I think a matchup, one of the 2 is for 2 for 7A would be Harrison and Etowah, or Cherokee and McEachern.
Okay, that's good.
We saw Cherokee, they did really.
Yeah.
They started off their season really well. We saw McEachern a couple weeks ago. Both teams have looked amazing.
Yeah, Hudson Will from Cherokee told me when they were here for Battle for Bartow, he was pretty sure they were going to get McEachern in the first round, and they in fact will. So they're going to see Chubb Jones Jr. in game 1 of that one.
I mean, Lassiter and Hoko, that actually might be really good. We saw Lassiter here a week ago.
Yep.
Hoko's always really good. Houston County's created some really good.
It's a powerhouse,
players.
yeah.
It's a really good, solid team every year.
Runner taken off for second. They bounce it down. The throw is going to be late. Another run does score as they throw down to second. So more heads up base running. And this has just been a base running clinic from Team Elite. They have taken advantage of every little sliver of opportunity being created. and they lead 8-1. As Powell steals second. To get Clayton's second strikeout here in the inning as he is able to get Caldwell. You got Easton Boone to strike out, We now have Pike Caldwell, who's 0 for 1 at the plate. Isaac Powell at second base. 8-1 is the lead for Team Elite. One run in the first for Team Elite, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 3 more here in the fourth so far. Another runner in scoring position, though. That's a strike. Count now 1-2. Clayton struck out 2 in the inning. About half an hour remaining on the clock in this one. Skies that. It's on its way into right field. Second base and right fielder on the run. Second base does make the catch. So Massey with the inning-ending catch there. But 3 more runs scored for Team Elite. They lead 8-1 when we come back with the bottom of the 4th inning.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
It's a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
We'll finally get through the Roswell order here as Matty Klajeka is going to lead things off. He's about to be followed by Owen Fullerton, and then we are to the leadoff hitter, Jack Thomas, who way back in the first inning delivered a triple to start off the game for Roswell Pirates. You know, he's been chomping at the bit to get a second opportunity here against Team Elite pitching, see if he can get something rolling along. But Klajeka will lead off the inning here for the Pirates. 4th prep baseball event for him. Owen Fullerton in the on-deck circle. Jackson Durham out for another inning here for Team Elite. He's first pitch swinging. That's gloved by second base on the ground. Throws to first to Powell for out number 1. So Sam's to Powell. Start things off here defensively for Team Elite for out number 1. And now Owen Fullerton, fourth prep baseball event for this 2030. Last batter in the order for the Roswell Pirates. 2 hits thus far for Team Elite, just 1 for Roswell Pirates. That one's driven into left center for a base hit for Owen Fullerton. So both these batters have just seen 1 pitch apiece so far. And the stage set for Jack Thompson's second AB. Thompson got himself a leadoff triple. He fouls that one off. Fellowship Christian 2030. Comes the 0-1. Thompson, this is the third, flip to second for 1 out. The throw to first is is in time. 2 double plays turned by Team Elite. That one goes 5-6-3 and gets the inning-ending double play. We've seen some great glove work from Team Elite. They lead 8-1 when we come back from the 5th inning.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for 1? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a play.
Our action continues. Team Elite leads 8-1 over Roswell Pirates as we move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. About 25 minutes remaining on the clock in this one. Lucas Francis to lead it off for Team Elite, to be followed by Jackson Durham and Sailor Johnson. Hart Clayton out for another inning here for Roswell Pirates. That's it for a strike. Clayton started to find his groove a little bit in the last inning. He's got 2 strikeouts. He's allowed 1 hit, 3 runs. They are earned off of 3 walks. Miss makes it 2-1 here to Francis. Lucas Francis out of Watkinsville. Can't lay off that elevated pitch. Makes it 2-2. It's a swing, he knows he shouldn't have taken, but sometimes you just want to make things happen. Here we go. The count is 2-2. We've seen 41 pitches thus far from Clayton. Coming in relief for Grillo. Misses inside. Count will be full. Walks have been a major issue in this one for Roswell Pirates. They've allowed 11 thus far. Can't lay off that outside pitch. Nice job. Third strikeout for Hart Clayton. Goes with the secondary there and able to get the leadoff hitter. That'll give us now another look at Jackson Durham. Did he get hit? He did not. Glanced out of the way of that. Coney County 20-30. Jackson Durham at the plate. One down. Miss arm side makes it 2-0. Another miss, nearly the same spot now, 3-0. Again, 11 walks issued thus far by Roswell Pirates pitching. So did you make it through all the good matchups as we were going through the GHSA state playoffs, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, the issue is some of the brackets are either finished or some of the brackets aren't even done. Like the 3A and 2A and even the single A D1.
Yeah.
Single A D2 still missing a couple, but I mean even private doesn't have any. So I mean, but in 4A, I mean, could be a good game. Jones County versus Blessed Trinity. I mean, North Oconee versus Perry. That actually could be a really good matchup as well because we talked about that North Oconee team, but
yeah.
Perry also, I mean, they played here in GDC. Overall, looked like a really good team. And then they have one of the top players in the state, Connor Langdon. So
I wish we had the GHSA state playoff games here. I just feel like it could be such a great atmosphere because it's hard to get much better, as we were talking about with Avery when he was in here, about the Georgia Dugout Club tournament and Battle for Bartow. When you've got all 8 of our fields going with high school games, it's just on another level. And we had it during the spring break experience. It's hard to put into words because there's just so much energy around these games. It really does feel like the summertime. Counts now 2-2 here to Sailor Johnson. Hart Clayton trying to work himself another strikeout. He's got 3 so far. Fouls that off to stay alive. But yes, it would be fantastic if we could have some of those games played here. I obviously understand the makeup of it all and these higher seeds wanting the home games and the home field advantage. Runner takes off. The throw was high. It's cut off by the shortstop. But I often think about the state championships, though, and obviously there's some excitement for these guys to be able to go play in Gwinnett at Coolray, to go, to previous years getting to play at Truist Park. But I always feel like here comes the payoff pitch. So another walk issued. I always feel like there's a disadvantage to these teams that are built on power, and then you put them into a field whose dimensions doesn't meet the dimensions of a high school athlete, and how that completely changes what a team is capable of doing, and then you change the parameters of it all at the highest level is just I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it's the right approach. I think if we could potentially have state championship baseball games here, and we obviously have state championship volleyball events here, and we maybe would need some additional seating to pull that off. But I just feel like it's to the detriment of the quality of these championship games to put these guys in those kind of fields. And not to say that these guys can't hit them out. in minor league ballparks.
We watched Trevor Condon.
Yeah, but I just think it just changes everything. There's just certain teams that are built on power on a high school field, and it doesn't translate when you put them on some of these bigger fields.
Yeah,
We have a
they're flyouts.
Yeah, they're flyouts, and it just changes so much. And I think again, it doesn't provide the best quality version of a high school state championship game outside of the optics. And then you add in the fact that they're barely putting any people in these seats at these games, and it just makes it feel empty. It kind of just almost like sterilizes the environment, where if you were in a smaller venue, it would feel amplified. It would feel electric. It would literally feel like future games.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's also, we talked about the lower seats having to come or travel around.
Yeah.
The lower seats having to come travel around to the higher seats. I mean, when you're a team from around in the Tennessee border of Georgia, or even over around the South Carolina border, and you got to go down there and play Lowndes all the way down there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Or play a team in Savannah. I know Etowah went down to they went down to Lowndes twice last year. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on Lowndes. They get to stay home. They get to be there. They don't have to worry about traveling or feeling like the effects of being in a car or bus for 5 hours.
New pitcher, by the way, on the mound for Roswell Pirates is Jackson Purcell. He's got Wick forehand, last batter in the order for Team Elite. But I think it's more amplified to me at the championship level, because at that point, when they're taking off for third, trailing runner advances to second, so 2 more stolen bases for Team Elite. I just think there's legitimately the point where you get to a neutral playing field, and it should be a situation where both teams feel like the way that they play the game is going to be accentuated or allowed to be a factor at the game that's played at the highest level in the state. And I just think getting these guys onto these fields just doesn't provide that. So I would love for GHSA to move their state championship games here to LakePoint Sports. Let's get some temporary seating going on. Let's get multiple divisions playing at the same time here. It would be legitimately the best atmosphere in the state. It would blow away doing this stuff in a minor league ballpark. I'm just saying there would be no, I would argue in the country, there would be no better atmosphere for a state championship baseball game than for them to move them to our facility in these fields and let us do our thing. So there's my plea. Let's make it happen. 8-1 lead for Team Elite here in the top of the 5th inning. Wick forehand on the mound. He's got a runner at third in Sailor Johnson, and he's now headed to first. So another walk issued, and that is walk number 14 by the Roswell Pirates. And when you consider there's just been 2 hits for Team Elite, that really helps you understand. And there's been no hit by pitches. So Team Elite they've taken advantage of what they've been given. And they are comfortably in charge here in the top of the 5th with runners at the corners. Jake Sams puts that in play. Shortstop has it. His throw is in time. So 2 stranded, but Team Elite continues to lead 8-1. We'll be back. You're watching Georgia Major Elite.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Sure. This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Our action continues. It's now going to be Hart Clayton, Jackson Purcell, and Griffin Metzer at the plate for Roswell Pirates here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We've got about 11 minutes remaining on the clock. So time is running out here for Roswell Pirates. They are, of course, the home team, so should this be a quick defensive inning for Team Elite, Roswell Pirates will bat again. Obviously, they would love to have a long offensive inning and potentially walk this thing off if they can get some stuff rolling here in the 5th. They've had 2 hits so far. One of those hits, a triple by leadoff hitter Jack Thompson. Their other hit coming from the last batter in the order, Owen Fullerton. Just had a Wilson Marlar sighting as United Umpires crew making a little bit more consistent appearances here, the higher-ups anyway. Those guys do such a great job behind the plate in all of our events, and we love it when they allow us to strap a GoPro onto their umpire equipment. Last weekend, during the Prep Baseball Tournament's Youth Cup, strikeout for Durham as Clayton goes down on strikes. It'll bring up Jackson Purcell. Last weekend, we had a GoPro on the home plate umpire during the Prep Baseball Tournament's Youth Cup, and we've done a lot of those GoPro videos over the past couple years. And Jack, I don't know, I don't think we've had a better one. If anyone wants to go check it out, it's available on all of our social media platforms. But I don't know that we've had a better GoPro setup and video than we had coming out of the Prep Baseball Tournament's Youth Cup. Had a guy hitting a home run, had a couple fantastic plays at the plate. So I know I love seeing that footage. I know the umpires love doing it. We just, for some reason, just went to a Gino Goralski's on my screen right now as we've cut across to some LakePoint athlete. We just had a LakePoint athlete cameo here in the middle of an AB. It's live television, things happen. But, Jack, that was probably the best GoPro video that we've ever had.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. And the umpire did an amazing job of when he took off the mask, he would put it on his shoulder.
Yeah, dude knew what he was doing. Because sometimes what happens, to take you a little bit behind the curtain here, is these guys the play will start and they'll take their mask off and the camera will then look straight down. This guy had the wherewithal to hold it so it was at shoulder level. So we continued to get the plays like, this guy knows what he's doing. So I think he had got himself absolutely earmarked as the umpire of choice as we continue to do those throughout the spring and summer. Full count here to Purcell. He's 0 for 1. Payoff pitch. And we got our first hit by pitch of the game coming here in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Purcell makes his way to first. That'll bring up Griffin Metzer. Menser Kings Ridge Christian 2030 playing in his 4th prep baseball event. One down here in the inning. After a 1-1 first inning, Team Elite scored 3 runs in the second and is just completely taking control of this game. They added another run in the 3rd, 3 more in the 4th to give them an 8-1 lead as we sit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Getting some music coming back there from your side of things, Jack. Another hit by pitch. Back-to-back hit by pitches by Durham.
My bad, I'm doing some research and someone had a video on Twitter. My volume is on.
Francis going out here to have a talk with Durham, trying to settle him down after back-to-back hit by pitches. A long leash here, obviously, for Durham as they're up 7 runs here in the 5th, but you certainly don't want to make a habit out of plunking guys. Landon Massey now steps in for Roswell Pirates. 1 out, 2 on. Purcell at first, Purcell at second, Menser at first. That's a strike. Counts now even. Goes to the curveball, but he misses there. Count will be 2-1. That one's sky back foul. If you're clock watching, we're around 6 minutes remaining. Counts now 2-2. We've seen some really strong fundamental play from Team Elite in this one. They've turned 2 double plays. Also taking advantage of some opportunities, some heads-up base running from a crew that's been given 14 walks. They're getting the bounce-back game they wanted. They lost in the game right before this to 706 baseball, 6-3. Meanwhile, Roswell Pirates were 12-4 losers to 6-4-3 DP Panthers. So that one is popped up. Camera didn't trail back. But the out was recorded, so now 2 down. But Roswell Pirates not getting the return they wanted. They've allowed now 20 runs in 2 games, so the possibility of them being one of the top 11 teams to make it on to bracket play looking awfully slim at this point. Pool play is throughout the day today. The start of bracket play actually tonight. The top 11 teams advance here in the 14U division, all leading up to Sunday's championship game that's scheduled for 6 p.m. Ben Boyer at the plate for Roswell Pirates. I'm going to go out here and have a conversation with Durham. (0-2) count, 2 down in the inning. I'm not saying that we're clock watching if we are Team Elite coaches, but we've got about 3 minutes remaining on the clock in this one. Roswell being the home team, they will hit to close things out regardless, so you can kind of understand maybe you don't want to have to tax your arms any further if you're Team Elite and you now feel that you're going to get yourself a spot in bracket play. But regardless, Roswell Pirates have their work cut out for them to try to eat into the 7-run deficit here with 2 down and an 0-2 count. Ben Boyer at the plate. 2 runners on. It's the most traffic the Roswell Pirates have had since very early in this game. They've had 2 double plays turned against them. Counts now 3-1. Should Boyer get on, Landry Miller will get an opportunity. And he, in fact, does. So Boyer's going to make his way down to first. So he'll give us Landry Miller with the bases loaded. The lead is 7. Durham obviously will be given every opportunity to try to get out of this inning and not have any further taxation on this Team Elite pitching staff. Miller, first pitch, that goes to shortstop. He touches second base. That'll bring it into the inning. We've got 2 minutes remaining on the clock, so it looks like are we going to play another inning? That is going to do it. So Team Elite, 8-1 winners over the Roswell Pirates in our game of the day from the Georgia Major Elite. When we come back, we'll talk player of the game and wrap things up from LakePoint Sports.
What's going on? I'm Austin Tambora. I'm a LakePoint athlete, and we're here to take a few swings with the new Rawlings Icon. Oh yeah, jumpy. It's kind of got a good big sweet spot. It looks inloaded, but it's really not. Oh yeah, that sweet spot's huge. Very whippy. Really just feels like a trampoline, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, that just jumps. Huge sweet spot. I kind of caught that off the end too. Oh yeah, that's easily the best bat I've ever saw. Yeah, I cut that off the end and I didn't feel anything in my hands. Oh yeah. See ball? Oh yeah, that was perfect. All right, we just got done swinging. Feels like a trampoline, kind of feels like a drop 5. It really jumps off the bat. The swing weight of it, it really looks like an inloaded bat, but it's really whippy and it really doesn't feel that inloaded. In fact, I can get to the inside pitch if I'm sitting out on an outside pitch. It really does feel like a drop 5 because I would catch one off the end and it feels the exact same on hanging at the barrel, same on the inside. The big back spins really well. The look of it, it's pretty sick. The teal, all this stuff on the back, feels really good. The grip, it was overall just a really, really good bat.
What's up guys, Jim Nagrowski here with LakePoint Sports, and today we're trying out the new Cloud AI. Oh, first swing too? That's the best swing of the day by far. It's somewhat light and it's balanced. Light but medium, like it feels medium in the hands but it swings super light. I actually really like this. Ooh, that was good. That was pieced. Even off the end too. It still seems nice because I caught that off the end. Oh. Man, I'm actually a fan of this. Oh. Barrel actually feels nice. Oh, that's a bomb. Oh, that's the best swing of the day. Dude, that felt money off the barrel too. That's a bomb. Dude, that's touched. What's up guys, just finished out here with Cloud AI. First thoughts here is it's a super balanced bat. I mean, for me as a guy that likes light swing weighting bats, I mean, it flows right out of the hand and swings super light. Pop, I mean, if you get it 100% there, it's gonna go a really long way. I mean, you can see in the video, I got a couple there that probably leave the yard. And I mean, really looking at this thing, I mean, you love the bright colors. I mean, it's definitely something. I mean, I really enjoy the colors here. And then it is effortless when you swing it off the bat. I mean, I don't have to try for anything. It just comes off my shoulder and the barrel goes to the baseball. And overall performance, I mean, this is the type of bat I would use in a game. I mean, light, big barrel, I mean, you name it, I want it on this bat, and especially the flashy colors. And I mean, that's my official review.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I have to go Acuna, Chris Hale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
We're here at the Rawlings store at the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village with LakePoint athlete Austin Tambora. Here to do some glove shopping. Austin, you ready?
Let's do it.
Austin, when you go hunting for a glove, what's that first thing that you go for? Is it the overall look? Is it the material? Is it the shape? Like, what's that first thing that you go to?
I think it's a little more of the shape-ish, the material, color, a little bit of mix of the both.
I don't want to date myself, but it used to be that gloves were either tan, brown, black. Now there's like every color under the sun. You can get any design you want. It's really become that personalized part of things for a player. Are you 100% on board with that drip part of it, or for you is it more about the subtleness?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I like the tan look. Tan look always looks good. I mean, you can never go wrong with a glove unless it's a bunch of different colors, like a couple of these, but...
All right, so we are in the outfield section here. You're an outfielder. If you're picking something off the rack, what are you drawn to?
Definitely like something like this, because I mean it's got a little bit of look to it, red. But it's pretty stock glove that I like. I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
All right, Rawlings is the Gold Glove company. What's the best defensive play you've ever made in a game?
All right, so Final Four last year in high school, playing Rockmire, our home field, bottom of the seventh, ball gets hit to me and right. I go back, I slam straight into the wall, ball hits off the top of the wall, comes back in, pick it up, throw it to my shortstop, and throw them out at home for the win.
That's great stuff. I know every player remembers their first glove. What stands out to you about yours?
So I actually didn't realize it was a trainer's mitt until my dad told me at like 13. So I used it infield, outfield, wherever I played. So it was like a 10-inch glove. I mean, it was really small. So I'm glad he made me do it, though.
Well, I'm glad you upgraded. Now it's time to go upgrade again. We're going to get you on Rawlings' website. You can customize either a Revelin X, Pro Preferred, Heart of the Hide, or Gamer XLE. Have you customized every aspect of it? You ready?
Let's do it.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney with you. We just had an 8-1 win for Team Elite over the Roswell Pirates in our game of the day from the Georgia Major Elite. And after a 1-1 first inning, Team Elite just took control of this one, scored 3 runs in the second, 1 in the third, and added 3 more in the fourth, taking advantage of 14 walks issued by Roswell Pirates pitching. But we saw some great defensive work from them. They turned 2 double plays. Just some really strong heads-up base running from this Team Elite team that took advantage of every opportunity given to them. And let's turn our attention now to the Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters. And I mentioned those double plays. Here's the second one. And this is Julian Azuna from his knees, throws over to Jake Sams, to Isaac Powell, able to turn two, and the glove work. Just absolute magic from Team Elite in this one. Now, on to our player of the game, and just 2 hits from Team Elite in this one. Again, they were able to take advantage of those walks issued by Roswell Pirates pitching, get themselves out of there with that 8-1 win. But Jake Sams coming through with the run-scoring single in the 4th inning, also had a walk and 2 runs scored. So he is our player of the game in this one. And make sure you check out our social media channels for our interview with the player of the game. Of course, that's always available on all of our social media channels. Bracket play will be starting later today. Will commence tomorrow with the championship game slated for 6 p.m. If you can't make it out to the Baseball Village, you can find all those games live and on demand with LakePoint Live, powered by Aware TV and Pixelot. We'll be back next week for you with coverage of the Prep Baseball Open, so make sure you are following LakePoint Sports for tune-in information for our live broadcast from that one. Until next time, for Avery Hunt and Jack McCartney, I'm Cory McCartney, and for now, we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.